Welcome to the Golden Feather. Grab a pint, a plate, and pick your seats. Your hosts, Vertek and Chippy Bree, are back from their latest adventure.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode with the Golden Feather. Episode 48, Meet the Community Marketing Lead, aka Maggie. Hi. Welcome in.
Hi. Thanks.
No problem.
I don't know, now I got all nervous.
Right off the bat, thank you, Bartik.
Yeah.
Cheapers.
Thank you for the gifts.
Another way to start off the stream.
Yeah.
But hello, Maggie, Lady of the Galaxy.
Yes. I come to you from my space kingdom.
I like it.
Yeah. It was like a space elf princess.
I'll take it. I'm into it.
Nice. So super quick, just to touch on this, we have heard some of you guys inquiring about us doing a longer podcast, and we're definitely considering it, and some different ideas to make it longer. We'd like to hear your feedback and could potentially do gameplay and stuff, like just chatting like we used to. But into the good stuff with Maggie. So, hi. You've joined us, what year? 2018 in January?
2019?
2019 in January. Wow, really?
Yeah.
I felt like
I believe
longer.
it was January 7th, 2019. That's my first day. So it has been over a year. We're moving on almost to 2 years now.
Yes. Z, who's this?
Who dis?
I think Z actually knew before a lot of folks and was chatting with me behind the scenes. I think she was nervous for me, but I wasn't nervous.
Aww.
Z is everywhere. I'm
Z
not
is
sure if
a
anybody knows,
sweetheart.
but Z is everywhere in everything.
And I think you guys have had her on your podcast. She's been on a few other ones as well.
Yes.
I always love having her on.
I try to watch all the content that I possibly can that you all are making. There's so much now that I have quite a backlog, but obviously all of our official content creators, I watch all of their content. I see you. I know what you're saying and doing. And then beyond that, I try my best to watch a lot of our regular content, and I pop into streams when I can if I have time in between my other tasks, but
Oh boy.
I have a lot.
Whoa.
Yeah, I can only imagine, because there's, especially with the latest influx, there's a ton of people coming in.
Yeah.
We have a hype train coming in. From the Discord or OBS side of things, there's like big things popping up everywhere, and I'm like, whoa, what's happening?
She's like, colors. I'm like a little ADHD too, so I'm like, distraction.
Yeah, pretty much.
I don't think I could have that up in the screen for me. I think I would be too distracted.
I
She's
don't
allowed to hide
know
behind
theater
everything.
with the exclamation mark. There's usually if you click like the thing, it's like a diamond. It's like a little bits
It's a
thing.
little diamond down by the chat box, by
Yeah.
the little smiley face emote button.
Yeah.
But
I want to see more hammers. Okay.
More
Yes,
hammers.
yes, more hammers. Oh man.
Tim, hello and welcome.
Where's do I have our
But,
hammers? Oh no.
So yeah, the first thing, actually, I had a question, maybe that a bunch of other people may or may not relate to, because, you know, there's some bit of confusion here and there. Definitely not on our stream between me and Chibi getting it wrong a time, or we definitely never did. But
No, never.
somebody else might.
Actually, I didn't
bit of-
even notice. Steven's the one who noticed. He was like, they should probably get your title right. I was like, oh yeah. I noticed that my title was wrong on the thing.
But so what is the difference between a community marketing lead, and how does it differ from marketing lead as well as community manager?
Ooh, that's a big question, but I'll sum it up a little bit. I kind of manage both the marketing and the community side of things, so I'm leading both teams. I think is probably the easiest way to understand that. Obviously, a marketing lead would focus on marketing efforts, and then a community manager handles more of like the community day-to-day stuff. So in our regards, I like to think of our company as more of like a flat structure, because we all kind of really say what we think, and we try to like work together as a team, and no one's opinion is valued more than another person's opinion just because their position. So I think that is the first and foremost thing. But obviously, yes, I do manage Toast, who is the community manager, and I manage everything that's like underneath that. So like our PR team, I kind of manage chatting with them and discussing things. Anything that's communication oriented, I am kind of like the one who's making sure that that's happening and going properly. Social media, I'm trying to make sure that always we have like our content schedule all prepared and like think about it this way, like I have our content calendar scheduled till March of next year, right? Like, so those are my things. I'm trying to make sure that we're like very well in advance. We have all our stuff ready, all our eggs in the basket, and we're ready to rock and roll. And then whenever there's other little things that are tossed in between, we kind of shift things around and move things around. And then obviously any big events, if we were to have any events, I would help manage those, which is a whole another realm of things. And then, content creators and content and any programs. A lot of those programs will actually be run by your community manager. Often they're going to be the ones who are going to be pushing the initiatives for community-oriented things, where I'm going to be kind of focused more on the marketing side. Right now, we don't have like huge marketing efforts because we're, in development. So I don't think that's going to be, other than like the grassroots marketing aspect of things. But as we get closer to launch and beta and things of those sorts, you're going to see a lot more things on that realm, events and stuff like that coming down the line. If we ever get out of quarantine, we'll see.
So,
but yeah, I think hopefully that gives you the gist of it. I kind of work on a lot of different things at the company, and when we get down to more of the marketing aspects of things, those are like marketing campaigns and sales activities and the shop and things of that sort. But the boring stuff that people probably don't care so much about.
Right.
But I love analytics. So for me, I love just looking at data and analyzing data and then making decisions based on that data. I think data can teach you a lot of things. Not that it's all encompassing, but I think it can actually, help solidify the things that you're thinking. Data can also be used to sway people in a direction that is not always the best as well. So you just have to have the right person in that position.
What you're saying is you could make an entire 7-course meal out of pie charts.
I mean, you could actually make a 7-course meal out of just pies. Like you can, there's like meat pies and like dessert pies. Yeah.
There's the pot pies.
I actually love baking, so this is a great topic. But on Ashes of Creation, did you actually see the Ashes of Creation pie that we made?
Oh yeah, that was
we posted it on our social channels for Pie Day, and it was so cool.
Yes, it looked really yummy actually. I was like, if that wasn't so pretty,
if you haven't seen it, go find it somewhere on our social.
Somewhere on the social media.
Like,
Toast is probably in here. She can probably find it.
Oh yeah. Dig it up. Homework, quick. Yeah, Aaron wants an all AOC cooking stream.
Oh my gosh, recipes from Ashes of Creation. That would be so fun. Down like past launch and things like that. I think that would be a really fun stream, like a cook-off, like having all the some of the top content creators from our community, like having a Ashes of Creation cook-off where they cook like actual recipes from the game. That'd be fun.
Oh yeah. I dig it.
Yeah, let's do it.
We throw our hat in the ring, or our oven mitt in the ring.
There you go. You can have like a golden, instead of like the golden sandal, it's like the golden mitt.
He does that.
I'm just saying,
I just run away from the
oven. I cook a wicked creme brulee, so I'll come up with something. I'll come up with an Ashes themed creme brulee.
Yeah,
really
like
fun.
a wild recipe.
I'm down.
I'd like to see
Except for Ashes of Creation.
I love that.
Yeah.
Sim's bringing the grill. Oh man, everyone's volunteering some recipes. I like it.
Awesome.
Yes.
Hey, if you have ideas already, you can definitely send them our way. We love fan creations. We've been kind of trying our best to spotlight those every Friday. There's so many that we're going to have months and months of them, but we love it. So keep sending it our way. It definitely motivates our dev team. We share them with our dev team all the time, and the chat just blows up with everybody just being like squeeing over all the crazy things you all make, and just the talent. We have a lot of amazingly talented artists, people who create like little like physical objects, people to tattoo themselves. I don't know. That was probably the biggest one for me. I was like, you tattooed yourself.
Yeah,
oh my God.
I saw that. That was impressive. That's some dedication right there.
So crazy and so cool. Like it's amazing for us. We love it.
Hey, but real quick, just to address a question out from the chat there, because many people may be wondering this. Alter Ego 000 said, "What are you folks talking about?" Well, right now we are kind of introducing Maggie here, Margaret Krohn, community marketing lead, to the community. Kind of getting to know her and what she likes, what she does, things she does. And we're going to start talking a little bit more nuts and bolts about her job. And
apparently, Chibi was saying that I'm elusive or something like that. I was like,
oh, no,
you're the
I was
first
told,
people who have actually asked me to be on a podcast.
I was told that Maggie was elusive, and I was like, really? Because all I did was ask, and she was like, well, I'm really busy, but I'm free this day. We're like, yes.
Well, I had to ask for approval first, and then Stephen was like, sure. And so then I was like, this is the day I'm free. And obviously he has to look over all the stuff that gets asked of me, but
yeah, we've been vetting all of your questions from our Discord. Not because we want to, but because, you know, chain of command and stuff. Yes.
Yeah, man. I got a boss too. Everybody's got a boss.
Yeah, and some things, to be honest, some of the questions that people had, they're great questions, but a little outside of Maggie's wheelhouse, and maybe somebody else wants to address those instead.
Yeah.
So
also more game related, whereas we'd like to look and learn more about what being a community marketing manager or lead is. Not manager, sorry.
Yeah.
I'm just all over the place with the titles.
I
I'm
manage
sorry.
things too. It's fine.
It was basically funny because when we asked you, like, so what do you do exactly? Like, what is a community marketing lead? So it was like, Maggie, I manage everything all the time.
I mean, although I do manage things, I'm not always doing all the things. We have an amazing team, and everyone is like, my team specifically, you know, we have Mike who does our graphics and things like that. He's amazing. He does, I mean, if you've seen all of the stuff that we've made lately, it's just solid. It's art. And then we've got, you know, amazing Violet Lights. She's awesome. She's handling a lot of our support stuff and managing that team, as well as, you know, helping out with social media, because that's something that she's really passionate about. So it's been really fun kind of like walking through the process of that and just seeing her passion and excitement for it. And then on the other side, we have Toast, who's just like the all great golden toast, always constantly doing everything community side. And I think for me and her, we have a lot of, I come from like a community background as well, where I used to manage a community. So I completely understand like her perspective on things. And I think a lot of the times the community managers don't get to just be a community manager. And I think that's something that we as Intrepid want to encourage and have her actually be able to like do proper community management, rather than like, now you manage all of these other things too. So I've been trying to take on like the stuff that my team would probably not want to do, the boring things. So
you wanted a bucket here? Huh?
I'm like, anything they don't want to do, I basically am taking on and trying to make sure it gets done. And then on top of that, more high level stuff that you all want, but you know, it takes time to create and make happen. And so those things are the kind of like high level things that I'm working on with Stephen and our production team and our development team, and making sure that those things are integrated so that you all get an amazing community experience.
Yeah. Sorry, my favorite question I just saw was like, who's the person who runs the Twitter? How are they liking every post?
I do so we do have a few people, like Stephen also pops in there and does a lot of social media. He usually tags himself as Stephen on there, but I love seeing his interaction on that. It's actually been really amazing having I have to say this because, and I know it maybe sounds like, oh, you're just catering to this, but I think from my perspective, I have worked with a lot of CEOs, and I've worked at a lot of companies who are like big AAA companies who do not have people in that position who understand, first of all, community management, understand the importance of marketing, understand the importance of social media. And so to have somebody who's like that integrated and gets it and is funny and has a good time with it, like that to me makes a big difference and makes my job easier too. Because I'm not sitting there showing him a PowerPoint for 20 minutes about like why social media is important. He already gets it. I can skip that part and just get to like, hey, I want to run this campaign. What do you think? So that's been pretty cool. But I primarily the last few weeks have been managing the social media. But you'll also see Violet Lights, who's been on there too, and then Stephen as well. So it's a team effort. Sometimes Sarah pops in too. So like we all manage it together. But it's primarily Violet Lights and I who are taking on the day-to-day tasks for that.
Nice. Yeah, see,
we have a good
Violet
time.
Yes.
I've had exactly one issue with my account on the Ashes everything, from like the old school forums all the way through to everything that's in place now. I had exactly one issue, and Violet was actually the one that fixed it for me. It was from the time I submitted the issue ticket to the point it was resolved was like 3 days, I think.
Yeah, we try. Right now we have a huge influx, so I'm sorry for folks who are, and so that's why I've been taking on a lot of the social media lately, is just because we have a lot of tickets. We're trying to get all the NDAs signed for all of the Leader of Men folks, so thank you so much. If you're a leader of Men folk and like you're like, hey, I never got an email, check your junk and spam, because sometimes it does go in there. And then if it's not in there, you can still send us a ticket and we'll get you handled. But that's kind of been like our main thing, is trying to get those resolved first and then going into the other tickets. But we're a small team, we're doing our best. Hopefully we have pretty good turnaround for a small team. A lot of folks are like, yeah, there's big companies who have 30 plus employees in that department, and they are taking, way longer than you all to respond. And it's like, yeah, good job, team. I'm always telling them how amazing they are. Like, my team is amazing. I love them. And I don't ever want any of them to leave me.
Don't do it, guys.
No.
Don't do it.
My plan is only to grow. I want to keep them and just continue to have more folks join us and grow our team as we expand Ashes of Creation.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of the team growing and such, and wanting to keep everybody around, so how has the community marketing lead position for Ashes been different than similar positions you've had with other games or other entities? And what's your favorite part about coming to Ashes?
It's a lot of questions.
From
my perspective, I actually have not been in a community marketing lead position before. I don't even know if that's like a regular position that's available somewhere. But on my side, I have actually had a history in doing a lot of other things. So I kind of started in game development and did a lot of game dev stuff. So I worked on a lot of projects and doing actual design work. Specifically more like combat and weapon and combat feel stuff. And I kind of got pushed into a community manager position. And although I completely understand community management and people like my community management, it wasn't something that I was super passionate about. But I do love like branding, like brand management and managing marketing and things of that sort. And I do like really value community management and proper community management. And I feel like there are a lot of teams that don't get to do that properly. So it's been really amazing for me to be put onto a team where I get to not only, help build that team and make sure that team gets to do the right thing and do it the right way, but also being able to take on a lot of the marketing aspects of things, because I've worked at a lot of companies where the people who are in marketing positions are not gamers and don't get gamers. And for me, it's like, that's my literally all I do all day is go to work, play games, go to sleep. So
living the dream.
Living the dream, I guess.
Living
yeah.
the dream.
So I guess that's kind of like how I got there in a very succinct way. There's a longer journey to tell there if you wanted to really know. But what was the second question in that?
So the first was just how has it been different from other games? And the second was, what's your favorite part specifically about working with Ashes? Doesn't necessarily need to be your position, but just in general.
I think difference-wise, the difference for me is that I worked at a lot of like bigger companies with like big teams. And what I love about working for a smaller team is I get to do a lot of different things. And the things that you do make a big impact. And also being there at the foundation of a company. I think that to me is really awesome, because you get to build the foundation of what makes your product even better and better as it grows. And we have such an amazing team. Like, everybody that we work with is just grade A, and being able to build on that and continue to just have more folks who join us and grow with us is awesome. In regards to the second part of that question, what was my favorite part? I think that it kind of falls in line with it. I like being able to wear many hats. I'm not the kind of person who just wants to come to work every day and like do my task and then leave. Like, that's not who I am. I'm somebody who's like really passionate about what I do, and I love starting new projects and doing new things. And I think that Intrepid allows me to do a lot of those things. Like, I can come up with a crazy idea and be like, Steven, this. And he's like, yes, let's do it. And I think to me that's cool. Not every company you really get to do that. A lot of companies, it's like, here's your task, here's your list of stuff that you need to get it done by this date, or you're fired. So it's like that is not, it's just not the same type of work environment, So for me, I think that's one of the things I really value.
Yeah, it seems like the more we hear from people that work there, the more it's like everybody has kind of specialties and everyone else is the peanut gallery, but the peanut gallery can always toss out their opinions. And it might add the peanut gallery is important.
something that I always tell people, especially like new folks in any industry, whether you're in game development or any other creative industry, is that, you know, you might have something that you've created that's your baby and your child, but if you really take in and at least listen to someone's feedback and their thoughts on things, you'll often create something even better than what you had created before. You know, like I was telling people in Discord this, I was like, you know, you bring X, they bring Y, and then you together you create Z. And I think, like, to me, bringing it back to Z, you know, it was a community joke. But to me, I think, like, it's really important to work together to create something. Collaboration is like the key, and making sure you communicate it properly. And you don't always have to go with what someone else says, but at least taking the time and opportunity to listen to someone and make them feel listened to, I think is really important. And it makes you feel good as a person being listened to, that like someone took the time to at least see your perspective.
Exactly. Yeah. It's great overall for both the person contributing and those taking the contribution. Like, that's a good idea. Thank you. I'm just going to shove it right in here.
Yeah. And giving credit to people. Like, it's always important to credit the people who are around you, who build you up, and who make your team look good. Like, all the people on my team are amazing. And like, without, you know, if one of them is gone, it's like, it's stressful, you know? So I think, like, for me, I cannot value and say thank you enough to the people that I work with on a daily basis.
Yeah, I'm kind of jealous because Asha's, Intrepid specifically, Intrepid seems like a really good company to work for. You guys seem stressed, but you're like stressed together. Like, it kind of reminds me of
like everyone's stressed. Everyone's stressed. Like, are you guys stressed? I'm stressed. Like, it doesn't matter like what company you work with. I think a lot of people think like, oh, I'm going to find the grass that's greener. And it's like, no, just water the damn grass you have and it will be green. So it's like, from my perspective, it's, you know, there's always going to be for sure something in the back of your mind that's like, oh, being somewhere else is going to be better. But like, that's really a mental thing, right? Unless like you're physically having problems, or like mentally someone's berating you at work, like that's a whole nother problem. But you should have HR, and that person should be taken care of. Yes. That's a whole nother issue within itself. But yeah.
So another
I feel like if I did have an HR problem, I could go to Steven and tell him, and you know, everything would be smoothed out.
Although I don't know, that's what I was saying, like you guys are like a good community, you know, together, where it's just like you guys, like, you're stressed, but you're stressed together. You're all going through it together, like helping each other get through it, kind of thing.
Yeah, I think from my perspective too, I run a lot of like culture initiatives in our community, in our like internal Intrepid community. I'm sad. We used to do these potlucks every month, and like, we have amazing cooks on our team, bringing it back to cooking. So I'm really sad that we don't get to eat all the delicious food everybody makes, but we would do themes and stuff like that. And I think those things like bring you together as a family, like sitting and eating with each other, and like bringing food together, and like grilling. And like, I think outside of just working with each other, we are kind of a family and just friends, and really just take care of each other. If someone has a problem, you know, trying to help them out. Yeah, I'm gonna cry. I get emotional about it.
Sorry.
Oh, look, there's some of my coworkers in chat being like, those potlucks were amazing. And even the people who couldn't cook, we had other things for them to take. I made a spreadsheet. I love spreadsheets. So people could like choose that they're gonna bring like supplies and stuff like that.
Aww.
It's a fancy spreadsheet. I even made a spices option with like 1 to 5 peppers, and it has little pepper emojis, because I think Toast was the one who's like, make it into pepper emojis. I was like, oh yeah. I have too much fun with spreadsheets. I'm sorry.
That's all good. That's all good.
Even our potlucks have spreadsheets.
It's a data job, but somebody's got to do it.
Right. I forgot I had these. What do you look forward to most with the upcoming A1 testing? And do you help plan the videos for YouTube and Twitch streams for those?
So I do help with our video initiatives. So I think you've probably seen some of the cool videos that I've been able to be a part of. I'm really sad that we're not in the office right now, but we are obviously making a ton of content and still able to do our live streams every month. It's been a little stressful managing all that, but it's also been kind of fun. I do enjoy running live broadcasts. I used to run esports broadcasts for a previous company I worked for, so I'm pretty well inept in like the running of a broadcast as well as like large productions. So this is kind of a smaller production. It's kind of like, you know, a normal live stream, like a podcast, like what you guys are doing.
Yeah.
So it works out pretty smoothly, and I just plan our run of show, kind of looking at like the content that has been worked on, what the teams are working on currently, and kind of just making sure that you guys have a development update in regards to that. Outside of that, I do love making video content. I think that's one of the most fun things to work on because you get to do a little bit more. It's when you're doing editing, you have a lot more space to do a lot, right?
Yeah, it's very creative.
That is like the weirdest wording. I don't know. I'm having trouble making words. Sorry for the sentence.
Post-production is magical sometimes.
Yeah. I'm like, words, what are words? You know, English isn't my first language, so sometimes like the words don't come out of my mouth, right?
Learning is difficult.
But I think from my perspective, I think it's a lot of fun to do development updates or like the dev diary style videos. Those are so much fun for me because not only do I get to sit there and chat with somebody who like gets to talk about what they work on and their passion for Ashes of Creation and how we're creating Ashes of Creation, we also get to showcase it. And I think that to me is a lot of fun. And then on the other side of it, the creation videos have been really exciting because we have amazing artists, and I just want to showcase all the hard work that they do and being able to show people the creation process of a creature and then also showing it in game and like the look and the feel and how it emotionally makes you feel when you see the creature in game. Like, I think to me, those elements are really important. And obviously you need those creatures to be able to make a world, and seeing the life of Ashes and the life of Vera, I should say, come to life has been really, really cool. Oh my gosh, every time we have like a channel where everyone posts their work as they're like progressively getting done. And like every time it's just like spams of emojis from everybody on our teams just being like, oh my gosh, and like commenting, and like everyone just motivates each other. And I think that that's really important.
Nice.
Sorry, hold on. Let me ask. Oh yeah, so everybody wants to know what your mother language is if it's not English.
Oh, okay. So I'm like half Filipino and half German, so Tagalog and Pampanga, and then German is my other side of it. I can also speak French and Korean. Not as fluently, but those are learned languages. I learned Korean for my last job because I was going to Korea a lot for esports, and I actually was there for like months at a time sometimes for esports stuff, and I found that it was really important for me to learn Korean. Also, most of my emails were in Korean, and if I didn't have to wait for our translator, it was super helpful. So I found that was super nice. And also when I was in Korea, I could like go out on my own and not have to have somebody like a translator there with me all the time. Like if I just want to like pop over to the shop and get something, like I don't need a translator, which was really nice. I think I've always just learned languages really easily because obviously I had to learn English, which I think is actually really hard, even though people say that like, oh, English should be easier. I'm like, no, you have like 10 words that mean the same thing, and then you have words that are homophones that sound exactly the same but mean the completely opposite thing. No, it's not
English is dumb.
Yeah.
It really is. It was created by somebody who just wanted nobody else to learn it correctly.
But I try my best. I will give a huge shout out to Toast, who is my editor. She revises all my stuff. So thank you, Toast. I think it's usually not too bad, but she just finds little bits here and there.
Just saying, in a world where, many people get, B's in their English class, if you're learning multiple languages, then, you're ahead of the curve.
Try, man. Try. I actually really do love writing, and I've done like lore writing for previous companies that I've worked for. So I think it's really fun to do.
Just learn Elvish is better. I'm down.
Right,
that would be fun. I should learn Elvish. I was telling Chibi, I was like, I like to imagine myself as like a magical wood elf, space wood elf. There you go.
Space wood elf. The woods of space.
Woods of space.
So, curious. Going back to the very beginning, how did you first find out about Ashes? What brought it to your attention and gave you the idea to apply for a role there?
So I've known about Ashes for a really long time, actually since the beginning of them creating it. My friend Kevin McPherson, who's actually I think one of our lead techs, he is amazing. I've worked with him at a previous company that I worked at as well, and he was actually trying to get me hired on a long time ago, but at the time I was like, no, I'm really happy where I am, I'm good. And then he just kept pursuing and probably messaged me and sent me links and videos. Like every single time they had updates, McP was just like spamming me with stuff. I love McP, by the way. He's awesome DM, awesome friend, good guy all around. And eventually I caved. I was like, all right, you know what? Show me, let's talk. Let's see how it is.
All right, I'm in.
And I talked to Steven, and actually Steven is the one who really convinced me. Like McPhee, not so much. Sorry, McPhee. Steven really convinced me because I was chatting with him on the phone as my like first kind of like interview with him type of thing. It was less of an interview, more of just like a chat. And me and him just like vibed. Like we both think about marketing and community in the same way. We are on the same page in almost like every aspect. There's like a little give and take here, but that's what you get with anybody that you work with or any relationship you're in. And I think for me, I wanted to work for somebody that is that passionate, that gets it, that understands like my perspective on things. And it's not a fight. Like I get to do what I want, you know?
Nice.
It's nice.
Yeah.
So I think that's how I learned about Ashes of Creation and how I kind of came to be part of the project. I just loved the vision that he had. And I think a lot of times I've worked at companies where they don't really have a creative vision. And that can be really hard to, make more things from when you don't know where the end goal is.
Yeah. You can always fill in some blanks, but you need to have the big picture in mind.
Yeah. And I mean, you can make stuff, but it's not the same type of like passion that you get from working with people who like really, really like love what they do and care.
I agree. Sorry, somebody's like, I wonder who is behind the account today. I wonder if it's Burnt Bread or someone else.
Burnt bread.
Probably the Toasterino. See a baguette in the chat.
Be ready, be ready. Oh my gosh. So we
have a lot of fun.
I like it.
Yeah. I love I think Steven popped in our last stream and was like doing a bit of role play with Future Sev when Future Sev was like reading out his thing, and he's like, I don't know, you'd have to roll for what was it? Persuasion?
Persuasion.
Persuasion.
I loved it.
I love playing tabletop with Stephen. He's great.
Yes.
Like the RP stuff is a lot of fun.
During your live streams for like during November, because it's usually on my birthday, you guys have your live stream, and like he always goes so into the whole like DM like RP mood, and especially when he's doing like the little videos, he's like, okay, well, go forth and get to the dragon, and I'm just like, Steven. We love it.
Yeah, we had fun. I think all of us like came up with voices for our characters. We were just having a good time. So hopefully everybody enjoyed it, and we've raised so much money. So thank you to our wonderful community for helping us with that. Like Rady's Children's Hospital, like it is a huge thing for all of us here, is being able to support our local hospitals. And I'm blown away. Like we went above and beyond our goal for that. And we turned it around really quickly. So from my perspective, I hope the stream went well. I tried to make like lots of really for people. I don't know how it was, how we were doing it before, but I just wanted to make sure that we had a lot of fun, a lot of interaction, I think at one point I had to eat cat food. I don't know. It got crazy.
Yeah, no, I didn't catch the whole thing, but the bits that I caught were definitely entertaining. They were worth my time for sure.
Yes.
Yeah. We had a lot of fun. And then in between, we did have little like board game breaks and things like that scheduled in there so people could go to the bathroom and eat and all that jazz.
Cute. What is one thing you've learned the last year and a half working on Ashes of Creation content?
Ooh. Specifically working on Ashes of Creation content. I think in the last year, I have learned that you have to be adaptable and dynamic. Like no matter what happens in a market, you have to be able to adjust to it. I think, the folks who are able to and not that everyone can with their industry, it just depends, but like being able to, we kind of knew what was going to happen with quarantining folks and being able to move everybody to their home spaces, getting everyone's PCs to their houses, making sure that your teams all have like the tools that they need from their home. And then not only just like the core aspect of like getting your development team and your company solidified and moving forward from home, but also on the outward perspective of it, making sure that your community doesn't feel like they're not getting what they want either, right? Whether you're making a product, whatever type of product you're making, you have to kind of adapt to what's going on in the market as well, and being able to, do a lot more viral things and like being able to stream more and still finding ways to accomplish those goals that we wanted to achieve on the community side. I think it's definitely been a big learning and a big thing that we've had to adjust and change to. But I can't wait till we go into our new office and see everybody again. We've been definitely trying to do like more video calls and things like that to just have some normalcy to it all. But I will say that I'm very thankful that I'm able to work and work from home, because I know not everyone can do that. So
yeah,
it's definitely not a very super common thing.
Not sure if you can answer this, but that Bard guy asks in the chat, what is a typical day like for you not being at the office because of the pandemic? Do you get weekends off?
Yeah, I've always gotten weekends off for the most part. I do work salary, so sometimes if I don't get my stuff done, I put in extra hours. But normally our office hours, are 10 a.m. to 6, 7 p.m. So like everyone kind of works between those hours, give or take a bit depending on their schedule. We have been a little bit more accommodating, because obviously some people have kids, and so they're like swapping times with their spouses. So some people are working like weird odd shifts, but we're all making sure that we get our work done. So I think like that's the main thing. But for me, typically, it's like I wake up immediately, I'm looking at social, looking at my emails, looking over my schedule for the day, working with my team. We have like a little comm sync where like our community team syncs up, and we kind of chat about like all the things that each person is doing on our team each day, making sure that if someone needs something or someone's blocked, I'm making sure that I'm going to get those things from folks, and ensuring that they get what they need. And then beyond that, just getting all my work done, and then at the end of the day, I wrap up. So it's kind of an average day. I can't give you details on like what those things I'm working on are, but I'm sure that's what you really want to know. But stay tuned. We've got a lot of really cool stuff coming along. I have talked a bit about some of it, which is like class blogs and videos for those pieces, races that will be in Alpha 1. So basically mostly Alpha 1 content and the state that they'll be in Alpha 1, and then moving forward kind of our goals with those things and what kind of feedback we're looking for and stuff like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. I know you guys want the leaks, but we're not exactly chatting much about Ashes of Creation game-wise right now. That's Steven's universe.
Yeah.
Hey, Steven's universe.
Yeah.
So, what has been, and by the way, just to comment on moving to the next the new studio, I can only imagine, because I know you guys were starting to get crammed in there with the other studio anyway. So it's going to be a change from that alone, let alone going from that to working from home and then back to a bigger studio.
I kind of liked the coziness, but yeah.
Just kind of throw a note across the room to whoever you need to get to. You might notice it before the messenger popping up on their screen.
We were all grouped in like our teams, so it was kind of nice being able to be like really close to your team members, and I think that's still going to be the case no matter what office we move in. So I don't think like it'll change too much, but it will be nice to have everyone in the office. There's a lot of new folks. We've been doing like these like every month, kind of getting together and just seeing all the new folks' faces and having a little happy hour-ish type of thing. You don't really have to drink if you don't want to, but just kind of meeting people and talking with each other, the last hour of work on like the last day of the month kind of thing. It's definitely nice. It's nice to see people and see all the new faces and stuff like that. It's a weird not seeing that, and having lunch with people and chatting with the new people. So yeah, it'll be nice.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'd like, because we've asked a bunch of our questions so far, but we did get some questions from our community. So I'd like to skip down to some of them, because we're eating up a lot more time than I expected. Not a bad thing.
Sorry,
I'm just
talking
saying,
a lot.
I thought we'd spitfire right through a lot of these questions, but no,
I can do
actually,
spitfire.
No, it's okay. We'd rather be over prepared than under, right? So
Okay. We can always go back to the other ones that you guys had.
exactly.
Yeah, absolutely. So, I guess almost a meme question is, how many times have you stopped Steven from leaking info?
You know what's really funny is that I actually think leaks are great. I think to some extent they are a great way to kind of get people excited about content. But at the same time, I only get upset when it's like we have a content plan, you know, and we're like, this is when we're going to release it, and he releases it early. Like, that's the only time. But I think from my perspective, I just move stuff around. It's not hard. And I think it's fun. We kind of have a little bit of banter, but I think like me and Steven get it. We're both on the same page on it. We have a lot of fun, and we want people to get excited, and we want everyone to have a good time. And so you might see us like banter a little bit with each other, but we really get it. We're both on it.
Steven's so shy. He goes, "You heard her, boys. Leaks are great."
No, don't do it, Steven. I think I get why he does it. So he gets excited about something and he wants to share it. Just from my perspective, obviously, I think it's always nice whenever you can share something on all of the platforms in a way that I think one of the things that I've always heard from people in the community is that they're like, it's really hard to see whenever something gets leaked, right? So like ensuring that leak is something that is provided to people on all of our social platforms that's easy for someone to find and not just something that's like hidden away. So I think that is my perspective on it, is just making sure that like once something is leaked, that we do share it out to our other content places, so that folks who are maybe not as active on like our Discord or active wherever the leak happened, that the other folks get, we just take the hammer and just start hammering holes into all the other places too.
Nice.
I like it.
Yeah, river of leaks. There you go. No, I'm just kidding. Please don't, Steven. Don't.
Uh-oh.
I got a content calendar. Please use it. I don't know. What have I done?
How often do you guys get ideas from the community that you put on the back burner to maybe prevent feature creep, but that you like enough to note for patches after release?
Okay. So feedback in general is like a whole other aspect of things. It is something that does fall under my purview. Toast is always putting together reports. So we kind of like take all of your guys' feedback. So everything that you do on our forums is like really important. I think if you post anywhere, our forums is probably the most important, because we do reports on that every month, every couple weeks, or sometimes specifically for a specific thing because the dev team wants feedback on something. So if you see a dev discussion, definitely interact with it if you care at all about the topic.
Yes.
Because we compile feedback on that. We just want to make sure that, sorry, doorbell rings.
All good.
We want to make sure that, you know, we're going in the right direction, that we all are on the same page with our community as well. And then sometimes our community comes up with some extra things that we're like, wow, we didn't think about that. Usually that's not the case. Most of the time I see the list of things that are on there and it's all stuff that like we've already incorporated. But it is nice to hear feedback. I think the multi-boxing one was a very interesting topic that caused a lot of discussion in our community as well as internally. So it's been fun to kind of, you know, be able to see those reports, and then not only on reports in regards to feedback and like how we take that feedback and word it and analyze it and then send it over to the design team to make their final decisions on things. We also have the other side of it, which is, you know, our social platforms. We do reports on those as well, and we're always looking at the feedback that comes from those and the content that you all interact with and things that you like, and we're trying to make sure that we continue to provide those things. So it's definitely stuff that we are always looking at and always trying to do more of. And we have a lot of fun on social. If you haven't noticed, we just have a good time. We're a bunch of nerds, and so our voice on our channels is pretty fun, and we have a good time with everybody, and we love memeing back and forth with folks. We get it.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's a lot of theory crafters in the chat about the doorbell. I thought it was just to mark a really important response, but apparently they think it's about communities at the door, the leaks are at the door.
You don't know. You'll never know who's at the door.
You never
Maybe
know.
it's Steven coming to unplug my PC. No.
You said leaks are good. You can't backtrack now. All right. So something I've been wondering for a little bit, and somebody else brought up is.
I wish that ice cream truck was at the door.
Oh, right.
Yum.
But Chibi and Vertic want it because they're warm right now.
Our AC is not functional at the moment.
Sorry, go ahead and ask your question. I saw the chat.
But is there an actual plan for when merchandise might be started to come into offering again?
I can't give you dates on that stuff, but we're definitely going to have merch come back. Don't worry. We have an amazing, our graphics guy also has done merch stuff in the past, and his merch is like solid.
Yes.
Mike, you're just getting all the shout outs today. So we'll definitely have some more things coming down the line. I know people have requested, they're like, oh, I want a Fee and Nick plushie and like all these different creature plushies and stuff like that, or clothes with different logos on it and things of that sort. We'll definitely have those things. Don't worry. They're coming down the line. Golden sandals for everybody. No, I'm just kidding. We'll probably have sandals. Let's be real. But I think like we'll have some cool stuff for you all, especially like when event season starts. We'll be doing a lot of like event merch that will be like specific to events. So definitely come to our events. And then beyond that, I definitely do want to have a merch shop and have lots of really cool things for you all to wear. So
Lex says, can I please have a flammable Stufferton plushie and a flamethrower?
Oh.
And a flamethrower.
The poor Stufferton.
Terrible. Poor Stufferton. What did he do besides bleed out his stuffing?
Chilling and just have a nice vacay at my house right now.
Yeah. Testing swag.
I should have brought him on. He's in another room right now.
Yeah, just saying. So far with the merch being absent, I can still brag about having an Ashes shirt at this point.
Yes,
until you
and
guys start selling more.
I still have the original Paladin horse and the original Cleric art piece. Like when we both found out about it, and there was like the whole merch. I was like, "What do you want? I'm getting you something. I'm getting you like one of these."
We'll definitely have merch. Don't worry. Like that's definitely something we have coming down the line. So. Just stay tuned. We got a lot of things that we're working on. COVID stuff has definitely put a little bit of a hindrance on some things. So just, bear with us as we bear with you all as well.
Right,
Just know that things have slowed, not stopped.
Yes, exactly.
Some things have sped up because some things work faster virtually. So,
True.
Right?
There are some things that work faster and some things that work slower.
It's kind of amusing to see how like working from home sometimes has actually increased productivity of anything.
Yeah, we've actually found that we have had a higher productivity. So it's on the development side, because obviously people can roll out of bed and work, so it's a lot easier if you're not like traveling an hour or whatever.
Exactly.
Yeah, I mean, there's even people like me that I see, if I don't have to spend an hour in traffic on the way there and back, I don't mind slowly logging off and wrapping up a few extra things before I clock out of the thing at the end of the day. So
the problem with like being salary and loving what you do is sometimes like you end up doing your work more than you expect you to, because like you just get really caught up in what you're working on and trying to like wrap it up. So
yeah. Totally get that.
So talking about like updating things, a while back the press kit was released for LCC. Will that kit be updated with new assets, and when?
So that was only for the official content creators. It wasn't meant to be shared out to folks. It's not finalized stuff. There's things that we might adjust and change on the branding side of things, not like logo or anything like that. So yes, of course, we'll have that available. We'll have like a fan site kit for people who are running fan sites. We'll have cosplay kits for people who are interested in cosplaying things.
Yes.
We'll have, I had to say that one. I know Chibi cares. I've seen that cosplay girl. It's really good.
Thank you.
And then of course, I'm a cosplayer too, so I feel you on it. And obviously other bits and bobs that might be helpful, branding style guidelines, things like that. So we'll have those things available. There'll be something that will live on our website and be downloadable and really easily grabbable from our site. Those are things that I am very passionate about, making sure that we have available to our content creators. You all make amazing content, and I would want to provide you with what you need well in advance. And obviously whenever we have new updates, things like that, making sure you have those assets at hand too. I know there's a lot of people who make a lot of great stuff, like the wiki and things of that sort. Like, we love you all. We love you all. So keep making the content, keep doing the things. We'll do our best to provide stuff to you as we move forward.
Especially because I think recently in the last year or so since you've joined, you guys changed the logo. It was more like rigid before, and now it's like more like tree-ish.
It's like a sketchy. Yeah. And now we've changed it to be more of like a clean look. It's still the same concept. It's still, the phoenix and the tree creation. So it's like it's still got the same connotation and vibe and story behind it. It's just updated a little bit so that we can use it on merch. It's primarily the thing.
Yeah,
I was gonna say, it feels a
really
little bit more
easy to use
solidly
them.
polished.
Yeah.
I think they're both great pieces. It's just, kind of like solidifying what we want to do as a brand and like what kind of things we want to put it on and how easily that's transferable to those products.
Yeah.
Like, imagine a little pin.
Yeah, that'd be cute. I like that.
I want all the things. Don't worry. I'm with you all.
Right.
All
We're
of the
like,
everything.
what else can I buy? We were just wondering, should this come, because we're about 10 minutes until the allotted time that we asked you for your time.
I can stay a little bit later.
A little bit later.
I have
Okay,
a long night of work today, so I can answer all your questions and then we can wrap up for the day.
Thank you. I'm sure our community
problem.
thanks you because Woodchip, I believe either that or theater was like, I'm gonna be mad if you guys end early. I'm like, I'm sorry, it's not up to me.
No, you're good.
So
We'll get through all the community-based ones at least, and then we'll choose and pick between ours because we still have a bunch left from us.
Yeah.
So
We
we'll
asked
pick and
a
choose.
lot.
When you think your time is over, you just kind of cut the cord and we'll dial out.
basically,
Right.
when we were sending you the questions initially to review, and the feedback was like, well, we were hoping it'd be more like, about community. Vertec and I were like, okay, done. We sat down, we're like, boom, 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 like just pushing out all these like questions to kind of guide it more the direction that you were wanting as a company for this interview.
Yeah.
So
I appreciate that.
no
People
problem.
want my leaks. I have provided some. You always have to watch out.
You just have to keep the mirrors open.
Yeah.
So speaking of art stuff, there was a question of, can we get the .stl files for some of the current models and art so they can 3D print some cool stuff?
Maybe not at the current moment, but down the line, perhaps. I think that'd be fun things for us to do. Maybe we can provide those in those kits as well. So I wouldn't say no, but
It'd be cool to be able to see somebody like do a pop-up of like being able to 3D print something. Definitely not those spiders though. I saw the spiders on your Twitter and I agree. There needs to be
All the
flamethrowers. I am terrified of those things.
I think they look amazing, and I love whenever Jinsey was like looking at like different variants. I was like, "Can you make a translucent one?" And so she made that like green translucent one because I was like, "Please, it looks so good." I think they look great. I know there are people who are afraid of spiders, but we're gonna have spiders, so that's that's it.
One spider mount.
I'll
saying.
just hide
We'll
my
probably have a
terror
spider mount
on the
in-game.
inside.
We'll probably have a lot of
scared.
other variety of spiders too. So
Just saying, speaking of nightmare fuel, so with the animal husbandry, how cool would it be if they bound together a spider and a horse, an 8-legged horse running around?
Oh geez,
pretty
that
wild.
is terrifying. Why would
that
you
is
do
terrifying
that?
to think about.
That's immediately what popped into my mind when I
I'm
said I
into
wanted
it.
a spider mount, and then like animal husbandry. What would happen if? Oh man!
Toast loves it.
But speaking of imagination,
People are
spore
trying to come
story?
up with names for it.
yeah,
Everyone
spores.
really liked the snail mount,
Yep.
which is the wisp whelk that I made, and it's really funny to me because like people keep calling it a snorse, and I was like, I'm not gonna rename it to that because I think someone did like a poll on like
my
Reddit or something.
gosh.
They're like, can we rename it? I was like, doesn't matter what you petition. I'm not renaming it to that.
Somebody says breed the spores with the snores.
Oh my gosh.
Oh no!
What would that be
wanna
like?
know. I feel
How
like
would you have long
Some weird,
spider
like,
legs,
ant
a
eater
horse
spider
head, and then like a shell body or something?
And like dripping snaily slime stuff.
Yeah, like a snail like tail or something. I don't know.
Ew. Now it's starting to really get into nightmare fuel.
I know folks have asked for like a princess theme or something like that down the line, so we'll see. I try to like vary it up every month, so like it's a different type of thing every month. Not every month's gonna be your jam. That's okay. You can keep an eye out for other ones. And I don't know if everyone knows that, but like you can, if you already own a package, you can buy just single items too. So if there's only one thing that you like in it, you can just get that one thing too. And of course,
Yeah.
no one has to buy any of the package stuff.
Right.
You don't have to.
On that
It
note,
is
Yeah.
purely if you want to support or not.
I think it was either Future Sev or that Bard guy. I'm sorry, somebody did a highlight. But one of them are asking, when are you gonna make a cosmetic that rivals the Death Red set that you guys had for most of COVID? Because
The Dark Allegiance set?
Yes, they were really upset because they joined right after you submitted these out, and they're like, I wanted those.
I have more dark sets coming up, so stay tuned for those. Obviously, you'll just have to stay tuned. I hope that I can continue to make stuff that's better that you all like. Now, I definitely feel pressure, so I hope that you do like the next, dark sets that we have coming up. We do have some other stuff, so there will definitely be dark sets that come up. So stay tuned. Maybe not all evil. So, for instance, like our October set, I can't remember the name of the October one from last year, was not necessarily like evil, but it was dark. So there might not always be like evil themes. Like the Dark Allegiance was more like on the evil realm of things. So just keeping that in mind. There might be some dark ones. They're not always going to be like evil themed, but.
I know. Like this month is one of my my buy months, I guess, where I'm
like
looking
fishing?
at the pet. Yeah, I'm not a big fisher person, and I'm not crazy about the. I mean, I like them. I like the idea of them, but it's not a racial choice of mine to go with these little guys.
Okay.
So I'll probably get the pet and the mounts, but maybe the other stuff I'll take the financial pass on this month to save up for the other stuff.
And that's
month.
okay.
Yeah.
I completely understand. The theme for this was definitely for fishing. And so if you're a fishing person, we are doing a lot of like fishing content stuff that you might have noticed in our previous streams. So the dev team kind of wanted some more fishing assets that they could work around. So we have a lot of variants of those things that coming down the line. So
I can see people falling in love with it.
People really want the frog mount, the polywog frog mount. So, there's probably going to be frog mounts out there for you. Don't worry.
Chip.
Looking forward to that. Yes, thank you, Woodchip.
I had a few questions. Did you see a reaction to when you guys released the dark set back in March on our podcast? Because we were all over here speculating something green or like earthy, and then like this Death Red set comes out, and we're like, yeah, that's not even close to what I expected.
Like happy feels. There's gonna be some flowers in there somewhere. It'll probably be like maybe dwarf theme or something. Yeah, no, not at all.
Completely opposite. You know what was really fun? I think the cloak was probably the most fun for me to design because there's nothing else like it. I was having a really hard time finding like examples of kind of what I was trying to go for, but like, the concept artist did such a good job with it. Yeah. But I was showing them all like these like really like dark black like octopus creatures with like really interesting like suction cups. I don't know what they're called, but like it was just really cool. And then trying to find like the cloak style that I really wanted, and that set was definitely a lot of fun to design. But now I definitely feel pressure to make sure that our future ones are just as cool. I hope that people like this set, even though it's not a dark theme. It's definitely for fisher folks, anglers.
I, for one, really like the snail horse thing just from Raisler, thank you so much. Sorry. Thanks for the love, seriously, and the support.
Thank you so much. Much appreciated.
I personally really like the snail horse, whatever it's called. I'm sorry. Snorris is stuck with us because that's what everybody calls it now. But Wistwelk, just from like a druidy oracle perspective, to me it kind of like adds into that like oracle-y, and I can almost kind of imagine, I was going to say this earlier, like when you were talking about the dev diaries where you guys go through and sorry, Woodchip is being silly. We're over our fire limit, guys, I'm sorry. But basically you came out with the videos where you were like turning them in from the concept to the 3D model, and then Vertec and I are here like, did I buy that? I don't know. I really wish I had bought that now because that looks amazing. It looks way better than the concept art. And then there's also times when you guys show off actual in-game and we're like, is that concept art or is that in-game? I can't tell. And it's just like the quality of just the cosmetics, everything, the graphics, it's a whole other level than what we're used to. So
our artists are amazing. I give it a shout to them. They're fantastic. Like, and you can tell that they love what they do because they put like their passion and heart into it, and it just, everything turns out amazing. And we're able to like give feedback, and everyone just kind of like pushes to make it even better. And I love it. I wasn't sure how Steven was gonna think about the snail, but he loved it. So I was like, it's definitely a weird concept to have like a long-legged snail. But my idea there is actually that snails are used in fishing. Like there's a lot of creatures who eat fish or eat snails. So if you didn't know that, there's actually it's actually like a thing. Now, with that knowledge, what eats the wisp whelk in Ashes of Creation? A really big fish.
My turtle mount. My turtle mount.
I'll leave you to ponder what's in the ocean, my friends.
The deep, dark, scary.
Yeah.
So I believe this question came from Z. She wanted to know how you got into D&D.
Oh, that's like a totally different thing.
Yeah, just to throw you in a whole other random direction.
not Ashes created, but hey, I have played Pathfinder with the folks. You can definitely check that out over on our YouTube channel. In regards to just like tabletop RPG stuff, I've always really loved it. I grew up playing a lot of board games. I grew up when the internet wasn't a thing. I have gotten to see the internet like start from like dial-up to now being what it is now, where I have a fucking Star Trek device in my hand. Like, this is amazing.
Yeah.
What is this thing? I don't even know. But I'm a lot older than I look. And in regards to that, I think for me, I've always been playing board games, things like that. And I love acting, I guess, is kind of like something that I've always loved. I like getting into character, and obviously with cosplay, that kind of like ties into it. And so as a kid, I've always just really loved playing tabletop games. I used to be like a really big tomboy, probably because I felt like pressure to kind of keep up with the guys because all my cousins are boys. And so I only have one female cousin, all the rest are boys. And so a lot of us were like, we just wanted to keep up and be competitive. And I think from our perspective, we all just like played games together and just had fun. And I don't know, I've just been playing since I can remember. And when I was in high school, I actually had a campaign that I played with a few of my friends, and we would our families would go to church on Sunday, and we would all play D&D together.
That's cute.
Nice.
I like it.
It's fun. So shout out to my homies. They're out there. Some of them are really excited for Ashes of Creation too, because we used to play MMOs together, and it'll be cool to all play a game that I've worked on. So. Yeah.
Apparently you're an immortal elf, by the way.
I'll take it. Just kidding. What's funny is that there's some I used to work at my previous company, and we had somebody guess my age, and so there's like this joke in my community that I'm forever 48, because they guessed that they thought I was 48, and everyone's like, what? There's been like this joke that I'm forever 48 instead of like forever 21.
Aw.
Yeah, my aunt, she doesn't get older every year. She gains pluses. So right now I think she's like 28 plus 23 or something is what she's up to.
I see.
So she gets pluses. She gets better and improves with additional.
I mean, you do
pluses.
level up as you.
Yeah.
With every year, At least that's the goal. The goal is to continue to level up.
So on the topic of imagination and playing roles and cosplaying and what, do you have a dream cosplay that you would love to be assembling right now but just can't get it started?
I do. I don't know if I'm allowed to say this. There is, I think like we've announced the Ancients before, but I'm not going to go into super detail about it, but the Ancients look freaking badass, and that will be my first cosplay of Ashes of Creation for show. I usually always cosplay my character as well, so whenever I get to higher level, I'll probably like cosplay my character in high level armor as well, because I think that's kind of fun, and to be able to do that for events I think will be fun. But I think the Ancients, I'm not going to give too much away, but like they look freaking sick, and it's on my cosplay list.
I like it. I like it. Good
Toast
answer.
is going
Good
to
answer.
cosplay as a Snorse, so that would be lovely.
Because I mean, I'll say I haven't seen them, but I do know that since they said the Ancients and they're giving them like, well, I guess not the Ancients. It was the old gods, which are different than the Ancients. So yeah, I know the old gods with them all having names. I was going to try and look up one of them to start dragging up cosplays.
Because I don't want to get in trouble with Steven, because I know we haven't said a lot of like the lore stuff. So that's one where I don't know what we have said, so I'm just going to zip it. But like that is definitely on my list for cosplaying.
And that's such a tearing point for me. It's like I really want to know the lore, but at the same time I really see what he's trying to go for, and I really like the idea of that. So I'm like,
we have been
want to know
showing tidbits of lore. So obviously with every item that we've released, we show some lore. With every creature we release, we've been showing lore. So if you're keeping an eye out for it, there's little bits there for you every week. We try to post those on our social media every week. Our Instagram is just filled with them. So if you're interested, you can find us at Ashes of Creation in all the places, and we'll keep you updated on the lore because we've got lots of good stuff.
Yeah.
But the lore of the world and things of that sort, like the deep stuff, like the storyline that you're going to be playing through and things like that, we're going to keep a little closer to home for now.
Yeah. Understandably.
My question is, what Ashes race or class combination do you think you would have the most fun with if you had to strictly roleplay the entire time?
Ooh, strictly roleplay all the time. I think it would be somewhere along the lines of so normally in every MMO that I play, I either play a tank or a healer. I'm a little bit of a control freak, if you haven't noticed. I don't like dying. So either I like being in control of what we pull and what gets tanked and making sure our healer never dies, or I usually like being the healer because then you control everyone's health and you can make sure no one dies. Unless there's Steven, then you let them know. No, just kidding. I'm going to go back to the stream because people are like, no. I was just joking with them anyway. But I think if I had to RP, it would probably be a bard, because something along the bard realm, maybe like an elf bard, something along those lines. Because I think RPing as a bard is really fun because you can do like poetry and singing and like town criers, spewing lore and stuff like that. I think that's really fun, and I can bust out my instruments that I have. So
yeah, see, mine, I think mine would end up being probably a Vec tank bard.
Ooh,
just because it's, for one, that specific stylization of orcs I've never heard of before in my life, and it just sounds really interesting.
Yeah.
And then also like adding the stargazing theme to also like the wandering mind of a bard, just creatively thinking of stuff just out there, but also has the job of defending a field. So he's just kind of wistfully looking at stars for signs, and thinking
think about
of
being like a traveling like, what do you call those people who like fortune tellers? Like being a traveling fortune teller and like stopping your caravan and popping your shop up and doing like reading people's cards. Like that'd be really fun. I think that'd be fun to RP.
Yeah, especially like I was actually this might seem a little dorky now that I'm gonna say it out loud, but I was thinking about getting an Oracle card set, and then like when I go to do my own stream for Ashes of Creation, should I choose the Oracle class set? I was thinking of pulling an Oracle card and then reading, because those are usually positive cards only. I'm not sure if people are aware of like tarot cards and stuff like that, but Oracle cards are usually just positive, so something cute and positive to start off the stream with and like keep an Oracle theme going. I don't know, I just thought it'd be funny.
It'd be fun. I love it. Gotta dress for the part too. You gotta like cosplay it.
Yes.
Build it up. There's a lot of people who do streams as like a character rather than themselves, and I think those, obviously a lot of those do really, really well because people like personalities, and when you can like just build your brand around a personality, it can make a big difference. Yes. So I love it. It'll be fun.
Let's see. I'm trying to find another good one that I really like. Okay. Do you see yourself playing Ashes incognito with side characters often, so you can enjoy the plights, perils, and discoveries alongside other players, or will you spend nearly all your time in helpful Maggie mode?
So what I do at every company that I work for is I normally have one account that I play on like live streams and with the community. And so when I'm logged in, I'm in work mode. And then I usually have an account where you don't know who I am. Some people might figure it out because like I usually like keep it where I don't like use my normal accent, I guess would be the thing. So I think like for me, I definitely try to go incognito sometimes because I just want to have fun and play with my friends and not have to worry about folks, asking questions. And not that like that's a worry, but I think sometimes you just want to like hop in and play a game, and it can be a little overwhelming and stressful to feel like you're always on. So I do think like I will have that element, but I will also have an account where I like hang out and play with people and stream and do all of that stuff. So don't worry, I'll be around. I'll do
Good,
both.
good.
A little mix of both, you know, healthy balance.
Yeah, exactly. You got to have a little bit of cut loose and just go and do your own thing for a bit.
Yeah.
So.
Thank you, Woodchip.
Mm-hmm. Now, just curious, from a marketing standpoint, since we're talking about bards and stuff, don't you think the bard fighter class would have been more glorious if it had been known as the Bardarian? I think that would have been a much more glorious name.
No.
No, just nothing.
Just no. Just no. Although it is funny, I do like the puns.
Out of here! Out of here!
Toast and I do love a good pun. If you haven't noticed.
Dracus agrees. Dracus agrees. Yeah. So
It's like the Snorse all over again. You know, I'm like, no.
Yeah, exactly.
Just
right?
no.
Just no.
Dad's
That's all
detected.
the answer needed.
Lennox says dad is detected.
Oh, I hang my head in shame. So, I think you kind of answered this earlier, but have you always wanted to be a marketing guru, or did you accidentally fall into it by, say, talking someone into improving a public perception, and they were just like, "Hey, guess what? I'm going to hire you in this role."
Yeah, I don't think that I've always wanted to be that person. I actually really wanted to do game design, and I was focused on that, and I kind of had my career adjusted, but through other means of someone kind of forcing me into a community management position. But I will say that it's one of those things where life takes you on different paths, and then you end up where you belong. And I think I'm in a happy place now, and so that's all that matters. But yeah, I definitely think it wasn't a thing that I was like, I always loved marketing, and I'm always going to be in the marketing field. That was never the case for me. It's more of, you know, I see where the space is needed, and somebody who really understands gaming being in that space, I think, is really important. There's not enough of them, so here I am.
And we probably have said this a million times over the course of the last year and a half, but seriously, when you and Toast joined, everything became a lot more smooth in terms of information coming out in a more understandable way. We love Steven to death, but it seemed like he was just trying to wear way too many hats than what would fit on his head.
A lot of hats.
He was just...
No, he's awesome. And the great thing about it is he does understand community. Obviously, the way he interacts, the amount of people and community he's built through just, chatting with people, I think is amazing. And I think, I cannot discredit, he deserves all that credit for doing an amazing job. I can't imagine trying to wear all those hats. He's nuts.
Yeah.
But I'm glad that we're able to be here and help him out and make his vision come to life even further and do what he wants, as well as what we want. We all want this. So I think for us, it's great to be a team and work together and create something amazing. So yeah, mad shout out to our team. Our team is, everybody's awesome. And
yes.
Steven's awesome.
Yes, definitely.
Absolutely. Yeah, and the hats he's wearing are not exactly small hats either.
No.
So, there's that.
I was you're crazy, man. I don't know how you would do all this. You're it's amazing what he's done, but yeah. I'm glad that we were able to come and help him out.
Good. So, question, you kind of mentioned something about this earlier, but I guess just to get more detail about it is, would there in the quote-unquote near-ish future be potential for some competitive and or cooperative events to earn, say, cosmetics or alpha beta keys? Monster coin keys is one thing that I'd be interested about. Perhaps even just a simple tour of the testing environment with Intrepid staff as a reward, get in the testing environment in the game and be like, hey, come check this stuff out, blah blah blah, here's where whatever.
I don't think the touring thing necessarily. We might do stuff like that for press or certain content creators down the line. But I think obviously our main focus would be a lot of those rewards are for people who are Kickstarter backers and things of that sort. So we definitely want to make sure that they get things first. So I think there has to be a lot of carefulness in how we do things. But down the line after launch, I think there are a lot of amazing things that we can do with giveaways. Well, obviously I have planned in my marketing background stuff, certain things that are like given to just our content creators, to just, just giveaways for the community, things of that sort. So we'll be swapping those things out and giving those away, but they will always be cosmetic stuff, never things that give you power in game. And then on that front, a lot of those things might be also achievable in game as cosmetics.
Nice.
But in regards to like the cosmetics for monthly cosmetics, those are exclusives. So I would hate to take away the value of those to people, but perhaps down the line, other types of like cosmetic items could be given away as like rewards. But I just want to delineate and make sure people know like it would be separate set of items and things of that sort. So it would not tie into the exclusives that you already have or the things that you're achieving in game through like hard means, right? Like if you have like an epic quest, we're not going to give the epic quest item away for people for free. Like that would just be crazy. No, we would never do anything like that. It would just be like cosmetic things here and there and stuff like that.
I like it. Yeah.
We'll have
like
giveaways. We'll have fun stuff. We'll be working with other products too, and maybe you have like an Ashes of Creation keyboard, a mouse, and PC. Who knows? So just stay with us for a bit. We're not at that phase yet where we're like pushing heavy on the marketing side yet.
Yeah, and Ashes will always and has always pushed to be a non-pay-to-win company. That's exactly why there's no in-game benefits outside of maybe a cosmetic or something. That doesn't change how powerful you are, anything like that.
But in regards to events, that's a whole other thing. We definitely want to run fun, cool events. Toast has put together a documentation of like a ton of really great events. And so some of those do require a little bit of dev work because they require us to have a little bit of tools to be able to provide for you all. But we'll have events. We'll have some cool stuff. And, maybe our GMs will pop in the game and play and do some stuff with you all. There'll be some stuff that you can earn. So stay tuned and we'll have fun with everybody.
I'm just saying Easter sandal hunt.
That'd be fun.
We have an idea for sandals. We already have planned. Ooh. So maybe down the line, you'll get to know what that is too.
So what has been the most stressful part about your job so far? I know that Ashes of Creation is changing a lot in a short amount of time. It must be hard to keep up with the changes or changes in the workspace and workflow. So
I don't think for me, they're like the changes, like the community growing has been too hard. I think the great thing about it is that we've solidified like rules and like our goals and core values as a community. And so for us, I think like that has been pretty easygoing. I've actually been really thankful. Like our community has been amazing. We've had a lot of new folks come in and you guys have been so helpful. I cannot say thank you enough for all the questions you've answered, all of the helpful tips you've provided to folks, and just like being very welcoming to people. I think that's really important for us to grow and for Ashes of Creation to become like a product that everybody wants to play. It does require us to be, as a community, people who are welcoming, because no one wants to come into a community when the first thing that happens is they get berated and pushed away, right? Like if the first experience they have is they're like, hey, I have a question, even though it's a question that has been answered a million times. And I know you guys who have been here with us are like, God, I'm sick of hearing that question. If you're helpful and you answer that question in like a very nice tone, that person's going to remember that because that was their first interaction with somebody in the community. And they will be like, wow, this community was helpful and answered my question. And I came away with it being like, I want to be part of this. Mm-hmm. So I think that to me is huge and means so much. And the fact that we have people like that, who are already being like great spokespeople for our community, that to me makes a big difference. And so that has alleviated a lot of stress for me. But in regards to like what has been maybe like more complicated in my time frame of my working here, definitely like integrating with the community and understanding like where we want to be and making sure that I like make that vision come to life, I think has definitely been the thing. I know it's been happening a little slower than people maybe want, and there's like a lot of things like the content creator program that people want, but I want to make sure that we're doing things right and that like you get what you really deserve. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. And sometimes those things take time. Like we're revamping products. We're revamping the website, and I think that that's going to make a big difference in a lot of these other initiatives that I have planned. And we'll answer a lot of the questions that you had about like, where can I get a fan site kit? It'll be very clear where you can get a fan site kit. Yeah. Things like that. I want to make those things really easy. Folks have asked for wallpapers and things like that. I said things like that multiple times, but you get the point. Yeah. There will be there will be a proper place for those things to live, and that is definitely my goal. It just takes time to make those things come to fruition.
Yeah, exactly. I
A
agree.
snorse with wings.
Someone else just said a snorse with more legs. So about that spider breeding we were talking about earlier.
Gosh. Yeah, I mean, that would be the way to do it, right?
Oh boy. But yeah, Vertec and I also make sure, like, you know, when we have guests on or like whatever, there's an influx of people, just reminding people, you know, hey, there's a lot of newbies. They don't know the same answers that we do. Just try to be a little patient with them. If anything, direct them straight to where all the answers are. Either the official Ashes Discord or there's the wiki ran by Lex, and stuff like that. So
Sometimes the first experience can be the last.
yep.
It's very true. It happens a lot in a lot of communities, and you know, depending on like what kind of community you want to build, you can build that kind of community. If you know the community we're building, like here at Intrepid, isn't the one you want, but you still want to play Ashes, you know, go build that community, and we'll be here. So
Yeah. Oh, hey, here's a good question. I feel Fubo just asked is how can the community help get the word out for hiring for Ashes?
Obviously, if you know people in the industry who are interested in positions, definitely forward them our way. Or even if there's a position that's not listed, but you think like, hey, this person would enjoy working there, just letting them know that we're hiring and we're looking for people. We're looking for talented folks, no matter like what position they are. Obviously, we're looking for specific positions to fill. And once we fill those, that will be solid and get us to the goals that we're trying to achieve in the time frame that we're trying to achieve. So yeah, I think like the best way is just, you know, telling people, letting people know with throughout whatever platforms you have, whether that's word of mouth, retweeting something on Twitter, Facebook, sharing, whatever it might be. There's so many avenues.
Z says Intrepid staff pet petter. I will apply.
I'm actually surprised. None of my cats I do have one here. It's like normally I have like a cat involved in every stream that I have. This is Riggs.
Hi, Riggs.
Riggs was just hanging out, waiting for the right time to pounce.
He was actually like
just
sitting right
spoiled
next
the
to me.
surprise. Just spoiled the surprise.
He's old. He's 19.
Oh, wow.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I've had him since he was the size of his little head.
Oh.
He's a good boy.
Jeepers. Got a couple years. Been around a little bit.
Yeah, he's blind now, so he can't see anything.
Oh.
He bumps into stuff. I don't even know if he knows who I am.
Oh.
Yeah, my friend had a pup like that, and he was the last like 2 years of his life he was blind, just bumping into walls everywhere.
Yeah, he bumps into stuff. Luckily, like now he kind of knows where everything is for the most part. But if we move anything, I think he would.
Oh.
Yeah, he can definitely probably smell me. That's what someone said. Yeah, I think that's
Yeah.
how he gets around. You can see him sniffing and stuff. So, but yeah, he's a good boy. You're a good boy, aren't you?
Oh, kitty.
All right, only a
So-
few questions left here.
Okay.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say for another one that's kind of off topic before we get back to the Ashes stuff.
Okay.
So if you could design your own D&D dice, what would they look like? Any specific colors, fonts, nifty designs, or just plain and simple?
Ooh, I think I would probably go with something space oriented. Clearly, I love space. So maybe like a purpley vibe with like space to it. Maybe some stars and moons on
Like
it.
your background.
That'd be my vibe.
Okay.
Like a gothic font or something. I don't know.
It was kind of
That'd
cute.
probably
too.
be where I would go.
Deuces.
We set up the Zoom call, and all there was like this like purpley blue just galaxy, and then her voice, and I was like, oh, I'm being chatted to through the galaxy through mind control or something. It was very cute though.
You can do the space.
Are you able to answer this question by Lawless Jane? Cosmetics are obviously a big part of an MMO. Is there going to be a similar system to transmogs in WoW? Is that something that you can
It might
answer?
not work exactly like the WoW transmog system, but you will be able to put cosmetics on your items that have cosmetic slots.
Okay.
So some items will allow that.
Yeah, and they've said already also there's going to be you're going to be able to apply colors and stuff to them, so we'll be able to edit it around pretty bit.
They didn't like you fading away, I guess.
It's trying to be like the space voice.
It reminds me of Sirens talking to you in Borderlands. She isn't real. Okay, good to know.
So, here's a fun question for you though. if Intrepid were to be segmented into separate divisions based on job role, say like designing, concept art, in-game art, engineering, support, etc., which team would you be most excited to market as a standalone service, and why?
Ooh. Honestly, I think I would really love to market one of the art divisions, because like they just make such amazing stuff. Like concept or in-game art would probably be the jam, just because like it's easier to market, I guess, would be the most fun. Yeah,
it's going to be most easily appreciated by more people.
Yeah, and I think you could do a lot with it, right? There's a lot of things that you could do with it in order to like, and I guess there's a lot of people in the market looking for people who can create art assets for them, no matter what it is, whether it's for like their brand or their product. So I think it'd be easy to sell too.
Absolutely,
market tacos.
absolutely.
Hey,
And,
marketing! I'm down with marketing tacos. Tacos are delicious. Also easy to market.
And also, Fupo, you don't market bacon. You just say bacon, and people immediately have love for it. That's it. That's it.
Bacon's delicious. You can have bacon everything. Bacon scented candles, bacon perfume.
They actually do make those.
Yeah.
Yeah. They actually do make bacon scented like everything for like body wash and shampoo and conditioner. Because I accidentally stumbled across it when I was looking for was office warfare supplies, like the little like. You can get USB powered foam missile launchers. So you could like put it on the other side of your desk and it will actually show you a little video, like the camera aiming the missile launcher on the other side, and you can fire it with your space key.
I used to work at a company where like there'd be just like all out war all of a sudden with Nerf guns, and they actually had to put up some rules because people were just like doing it. And at one point, like our community team put up like these huge giant like shields on top of our like cubicles so that you wouldn't just get like a barrage of bullets at you. Yeah. Game companies, we have a little bit of fun.
True story. All right, I think we could probably start winding down here soon. Did you have another or the questions that you really wanted to get out there?
I've just been kind of looking through chat and grabbing just random chat questions as they come through. I don't know exactly what you can. I did put through with the bot the Ashes of Creation. I'll go ahead and put it in right now. Oops, sorry. That is me copying the last question. My bad. But here is
Lucy.
The
She fell asleep. What?
Here's the official subreddit mega thread for Ashes of Creation questions. I don't know what she can or cannot answer because a lot of these questions are kind of more game related. But I think
heavy design.
And definitely leave those ones for like a Q&A for a live stream. Those ones are great. So definitely keep in mind that we do on the community side there will be sometimes where we won't because we'll be live streaming like full content of like a playthrough or something like that. But most often we do a Q&A segment, and maybe we'll do another AMA because folks really liked that.
Oh yes, please.
Down the line as well. So.
Yeah. Were you able to say if in the future, because you see how there's like the Nikola costume there with the fishing net and everything, would those be one piece? Like, will I have to apply that whole thing, or can I apply pieces of it, kind of like in BDO? This is asked by Andean.
So the costume is a one-piece set, and we'll go over your entire look. Okay. But the accessory item, that can go on as individual item.
Okay. There you go.
So if you get like the accessory item, that one can go on any
like I think
item
last month's belt, for example.
Yes. So the belt, for example, would be something that would go over the belt if there's a cosmetic slot on that belt.
Okay, cool.
And then the costume itself would cover your entire costume, not just one of your cosmetic slots.
Jedzi, sorry, your name is real long. Jedzi, your question is how outside of official forums and social media do you want to engage the Ashes of Creation community? One great way for that is to join the official Discord, Ashes of Creation Discord. There's tons of engagement there. They always post updates and news. If Vertec doesn't mind grabbing the official link to the official Discord?
Yeah, so we have, I mean, if you want to find out where we're at, we always keep you up to date on the news in the news section of our website. So that's going to be like your premier news that we always have content going up. I've been putting the live streams up there now too, so hopefully that's easier for you all moving forward. Especially with like we're going to have a new layout for the website as well, so that will make it easier. And down the line, and we also have Discord, so definitely check us out over there. Twitter, Facebook, Instagram if you're interested in art stuff, and we do Instagram and Instagram story, or Facebook stories and Instagram stories. Snapchat, if Snapchat's your thing, we're also posting there.
Yep.
And we do keep an eye on Reddit and stuff, although that is kind of more community run. We do obviously like watch stuff there and post things there as well, from the Intrepid Studios account as well as some of our own accounts. And then the forums is a great place. That is obviously, like I always say, if you have any feedback or suggestions or you want to have a discussion about stuff, that is the premier place to go because we can gather data from that. Whereas like other platforms might not be as easy for us to grab, information and data and consolidate things because we own the back end of it. So we can easily grab that stuff and make reports and put reports together. We do social reports as well, but it's harder to get the data because those social companies own the data. So we only have access to what they give us. Follow us. Come hang out with us.
Help
YouTube and Twitch, we also are on there too.
Help Maggie get the Ashes of Creation Instagram to 10K followers.
Yes, get me to 10K. I just want to be like, why is the swipe up mechanic hidden behind 10K followers?
I don't know.
Like
I'm really
Snapchat doesn't do that.
Yes, the Instagram, the Insta right there. Go there.
We're almost
follow.
there. We're
Just
getting
hit
there.
follow.
It's so
That's
close.
That's all you got to do.
Yeah, just follow.
There you go. Shameless
give me that
plug,
swipe
yes. As for Vertec and I, in terms of keeping up with the community, we do have our own Discord. Please definitely do feel free to join us. We always are looking for new content creators who are joining the Wonderful Ashes with the newest type that Maggie and the wonderful team at Intrepid has created from Ashes of Creation and surrounding Alpha 1 and such. So yeah, if you're interested, if you're a content creator, if you're an art person, Z makes content technically by making art for the community. So like things like that. If you like to make art, if you like to do a podcast or YouTube videos, if you just want to come and chat about your favorite part of being on like Ashes Creation community, we'd love to have you on. And we loved having Maggie on today to talk about what it's like to be a community marketing lead. Since I always get that
the
wrong.
The entire title.
Yes.
Okay, it's a weird title, so
I was really sleepy and I was trying to there's a C before here, but I don't remember what the C was for. Maybe I'm getting confused with CM. I'm like, I don't know. I just know it's marketing lead for sure. So
it's okay.
Yeah. Yes,
Toast does a good job of managing most of the community stuff, so I don't have to focus on it. So it's fine.
Yes. And we just wanted to say thank you to all of you who joined us today, and Maggie for your time. We will be taking a 1 week break. Actually, we were originally like second and last week of the month, but with the new information and people, frankly, making new stuff coming out, we're going most likely weekly as soon as we get out to the new place. But on the 23rd through the 29th, we'll be moving, and we're hoping to just have a chill stream with you guys on the 29th.
Hey, and stuff like this, just to jump in real quick, like Woodchip just posted in here, this is also why we would love you to join our Discord for random things that our friends let us know about. Like Woodchip just said that Tavernside Gaming just started streaming, so
yeah,
if anybody would like more Ashes stuff, I think we should go ahead and raid him.
Okay, let me go get that set up.
Once we see all the goodbyes and everything, we'll go ahead and raid on over and say hello to the Tavernside.
Yeah, I agree. Oops.
We don't catch everything, so by all means, please help keep us informed.
Yes. Definitely.
But Maggie, thank you so much for coming on. We really loved having you.
Thanks for inviting me.
Everybody out there watching us, you people are all amazing, spending your time with us. Mm-hmm. You could have been doing anything, and you chose to spend it with us, so thank you. We appreciate it.
Yeah. And,
Thanks for having me, and I hope you enjoyed chatting with me about marketing and community stuff. Maybe not as exciting as some of the game development stuff that you all want to hear, but
Hey, I had fun.
Oh yeah.
Like I said, we like to know who you are. So
yeah, and it can't always be about like Ash's development, because I mean, you guys are more than just Ash's content constantly, and that's what we want to look at, is like who you are as a person and not as an Ash's person necessarily. So
I do a lot of stuff on the internet, so you can easily find me.
Exactly. Alrighty.
And yeah, please, people, by the way, stop by and like check out her Twitter and stuff, because she does a lot of really nifty projects. I've caught her randomly on
cosplay,
like doing a D&D session in cosplay on Twitch.
Yes.
So she does some really fun stuff.
Thanks.
Alrighty. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and get ready to raid Tavernside. Feel free to hang out. Otherwise, have a great day, guys. Thank you for joining us, and thank you for getting to know Maggie with us.
I gotta go back to work. I got lots of stuff to do.
Thank you again for your time, Maggie.
Yeah, no
Love
problem.
everybody.
Bye.
Bye.